welcome to program 2. So this program is going to be a combination of 7 exercises. We're going to target both upper and lower body. Within the 7 exercises, we're going to have 2 cardio drills to get our heart rate up. And then we're going to come down to the mat and do some core work. So we're going to complete this circuit, all 7 stations, consecutively each exercise with the least amount of rest. And then we will repeat it 3 times. So let's start. We've got our first station. Number 1 is a glute bridge with a Bosu ball. So here we've got a couple options for you. So getting yourself situated. So first option here with your glute bridge is no weight at all. You're going to make sure that your heels are close to your glutes. And when you come up, you want to keep that core engaged. And you want to just bring it up. Glutes tightened. You can feel the hamstrings. Your head is kind of pointed to the sky, so your neck is in line with the spine. And down. Up, squeeze, down. Squeeze. It's very important not to have your feet out here, but nice and close to your glutes, so you can activate and you can feel that squeeze through your glutes and your hamstrings right where they meet. Second option on this one is to add some weight. You can use dumbbells, you can use a small preacher bar, you can use a medicine ball, anything that you can put along your pelvis area to do that. So here again, you can put your hands here, you're going to come up, hold, release, hold, release. Again, make sure you're not hyperextending the back. You want to have that core nice and tight so everything stays in line. You can also hold at the top, use that eccentric movement coming down nice and slow, push, hold, so you can work both ways, time under tension. So here, make sure you put your weights down carefully. Second, we're going to go into the incline bench press. You have the option of doing this here or taking this workout wherever you want. So if you're going to a facility, you'll be able to find this at all facilities. So there's a couple options here. Very important that we keep our back, the small of our back, engaged, tight, flat into the bench. Once you start arching and then you start lifting weight, you're going to give yourself opportunity for injury. So people that are not tall, like me, I'm average, I always bring my feet up onto the bench. So here, we're just going to do a standard grip. So we're going to be, I always do it outside of the soft spot. So again, making sure that small of the back is nice and tight to the bench, pushing it back, engaging that core. That's going to protect your spine as well. Coming down to the top of the chest, and then back up. This bar is 45 pounds. You can start with a bar on your first set. If that seems to be easy after your 12 to 15 reps, you can then add weight to it. For me, this would be too light. You're going to come down to the top of the chest. Make sure you're over your chest and back up. I don't want you to lock out those arms, but you want to come down nice and smooth and up nice and smooth. Again, you can work on both eccentric and concentric movements, which is coming down nice and slow and back up. So you can do multiple ways to hit those muscles. So time under tension is always good. You can always work on the down as well as the up. You can switch that up just to, give yourself a different take on the exercise. So you're going to move to station number 3, which is our rear deltoid machine. Here, you're going to find a weight that is challenging. You're going to make sure that you can do 12 to 15 reps. If you cannot get to 12, you're too heavy. If you get to 12 and you feel like you could do a couple more reps, if that's the amount of reps you want, you're going to increase that. If you want to do 15, again, your last 2 reps should be very difficult to do, and that's when you know your weight is right. If you're able to bang it out and then do a couple more, you need to increase your weight if you want to see your strength improve. So here, I'm going to bring your core nice and tight against the pad and your chest. I want you to bring your arms forward, and I want you to squeeze. So when I'm squeezing, I want the back of my shoulders to feel like I'm pinching what we refer to as a pencil inside. And then come back. Let's not let our weight hit each other. Come back, hold, release. Hold, release. Hold, and release. So I always like to do things not fast. I like to do things slowly. And I always like to hold that for a second before we release. And again, we're not going to let all of that weight come off of our arms. And then we're going to come back in. Hold and release. So that is that for that one. There is really no modification except for changing and using dumbbells to do it, which if we had to do that, again, I would keep my core nice and tight. I would hinge at the hips. I'd make sure that I've got my flat back, my core is protecting my spine, and I'd get my dumbbells and I'd bring them up and down. Maybe a soft knee, and then down. Again, the key is making sure that you feel like you're squeezing that pencil in between the shoulders every time on your exertion. Okay, so number 4 is our jump squats. This is one of the 2 of our cardios. So here I will set my timer for 30 seconds. We will progress as the program. This is a 4-week program. As we get further into the program, we'll up our cardio to 45 seconds and then 60 seconds. So right now we're at 30 seconds for our cardio and jump squat. I will offer you 2 options. So here, you're just going to go down. So key is here, light on the feet, butt back, chest up, and you're going to go down, sitting back each time. You can slow it down, you can do fast, you can do whatever you want. If by chance you have options or your mobility with your knees are an issue, you're not going to. You're just going to bring it up onto your toes, down, up, down, up, down. This will still get your heart rate up, and that's the key for these. So now we're going on to station number 5, which is our back row. Most facilities will also be able to have this machine and some sort. Check your weight. Put something on there that's going to be challenging. Okay, so here, again, your elbows are going to slide across those hips. While you're holding it, you're going to bring it to your chest, and you're going to squeeze the back. Okay, you want to target the back of the shoulders, the rhomboids, traps, kind of everything that's running down your back. So I'm going to have my knees not totally locked out, a soft knee. I'm going to reach for that. I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to be nice, tall, core is engaged throughout this, but especially when I get to that final position, my shoulders are back, my core is tight, and I'm totally focused. And when I lean forward, I'm going to allow myself to bend with it, and then come back with that nice tight core and that squeeze at the back. Again, same thing, pencil in between those shoulder blades, so you can no longer fit anything in there. Forward, back. Pick a weight that is going to be challenging each time, but when you get to your 12th or 15th rep, you're totally exhausted and you cannot do another one. That is the key. If you're not doing that and you feel like you can do more reps, increase your weight That's the only way you're going to see that your strength is growing. Next one is a stiff leg deadlift. I'm going to do it right here. So pick an appropriate weight. I'm going to go with what I would normally go with, 20 pounds. And I bring myself to the side. This is very important, very tough on people that have weak backs or weak core, because ultimately our core protects our back. So it puts a lot of strain on our hamstrings, which if you have tight muscles is going to feel like it puts a lot of strain on your lower back. So be very careful. Stretching, rolling out, super important when you're working out all the time. But I'm going to give a soft knee. My shoulders are back, and I'm going to hinge at the hip and allow these dumbbells to just slide down my legs. Feel my hamstrings engage, coming down to about halfway to the shins. And then I'm going to come back up and squeeze at the top of that movement, those glutes. And then again, the same thing. Squeeze, halfway down, come on back up and squeeze. Another option if you have a problem or you're finding it hard to keep those legs straight, I would go against a bench and then I would allow myself to hinge forward. I want your back to be straight. I want your back to be parallel, only coming down to about halfway, mid-shin at the most, and then coming back up and squeezing those glutes. So again, I don't want to see this, that, not doing anything for your legs or your hamstrings. The key is pushing back the hips, coming down till you're flat back, no further, and then pulling everything up together and tightening those glutes. One more time. Hinging from the hips, bringing myself down to that flat back, and back up. You want to and should absolutely feel that pull in the hamstring every rep. Okay, so we are to our last core, or cardio, exercise, and there's a few variations for this one. So we're going to go with a plank. So I like to do this on my hands, but I'll show you both options. You can do an elbow plank. So here, when I do a plank, I want to see my shoulders and my elbows in line underneath each other. And if I'm on my hands, then it's stacked. Shoulders, elbows, wrist. Always stacked. If you're up here, too much, and the potential of hurting yourself and hurting your shoulders is too much. So always remember, plank, you need to be stacked. So first option is here, and you can do the plank jack this way. If that's too much, you can do step outs. But see, when I'm in a plank, I'm also looking a couple inches ahead of me, so my neck is in line. My core is nice and tight, as you can maybe see. My back is straight. I've got my belly button pushed in. My glutes are tight. Everything is tight, and I'm not up like this, and nor am I like this. Nice, tight. So another option is up here. Everything is stacked. I'm going to go this way, or I'm going to tap it out. If you get tired, bring your knees down. Give yourself a little bit of a child's pose. Get back up and finish it off strong. Okay? So that's our last cardio drill. That completes our 7 exercises. Run through that a total of 3 times. And then we do core work on the floor. So I will demonstrate a couple for you. So first option here is my push sit-throughs. So key here, feet are on the floor, and you're going to come up and push through the center. Okay, each time you can bring your hands back and do it this way, or you can keep your hands in front of you and do it this way. Modification for this one, Same thing, you're just not coming all the way up. You're literally pushing through. You want to target the obliques, pull it this side, pull it this side, pull it through the middle. So there's a variation of that one. And you're going to do that one for 30 seconds. You're going to progress each week to 45 to 60. So at the end of the 4 weeks, you should be doing your core, each exercise for 60 seconds. Second exercise is your heel touches. So again, there is really no modification for this except for your actual range of motion. Some people can't come down and get to their heels, but the key for this one is shoulders off the mat, nice tight core, core engaged, pushing, and that small of the back is flat. You cannot get your hand through my small of my back. So all we're doing here, again, eyes to the sky. I want the head in neck with the, or in line with the spine, and then that's it. So touch, 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 touch. This is really going to hit the obliques for you, and you're going to do this for 30 seconds. Then as the weeks go, you're going to progress. Another exercise we're going to work on is if you've got a friend, you can buddy up with a friend and do this one. You can do it with a medicine ball. You can do it, if I had a partner, I would definitely do it with a medicine ball, a lightweight medicine ball. But if I don't, I'm going to go ahead and use a weight. Again, you pick a weight that's going to be challenging for you. And the couple options on this one, you're going to touch down each side. Again, nice tight core, come on down to a 45, and then touch. You can also take this up a notch and bring your feet up and do it that way. Or you can take it down a notch and just touch without any weight if you're not there yet. So there's options there. Again, this is a timed one. You're going to do 30 and progress to 60 seconds by the end of week 4. And if you have other ones that you want to throw in there, don't be afraid to add some, remove some. You can never get too much core. So that is it. After that, we would do a cool down and stretch. So lots of ideas for stretching. If you need some ideas, please reach out to me and I'll provide you the cool down and a stretch that will last about 5 to 10 minutes, and it will hit all of the body parts that we've worked. Okay?